Hello everyone, I am Renowned Zero. We're back again with another video talking about this dog shit announcement about the Wizard of Oz remake. Apparently, have to feature alphabet community nonsense for a classic masterpiece film that came out in 1939, right? Because we need to wokeify and identity politics pretty much everything and everyone in film. Every masterpiece needs a dog shit remake. Every masterpiece film needs to be filled with identity politics and nonsense. And it's like, can we just not do this anymore? Can we just stop? Get a piece of creativity in your brains and stop remaking every single thing that means a lot to people? Like, what is the point of this? No one's gonna watch this trash. No one's gonna remember this trash. No one's going to care about this trash after a week. However, the classic movie will forever stand the test of time. This is a movie I've watched repeatedly with my mother. Anytime she wanted to watch this movie, I watched it with her because it meant that much to her as a movie. And for people like in Hollywood to want to fuck this movie, fuck with the original movie and make a remake just because reasons is absolutely disgusting. And it's the same dog shit thing I'm gonna say about trash like the Little Mermaid remake. Well, let's get into this article from Bounding into Comics. Warner Brothers, The Wizard of Oz remake will feature alphabet community as part of a story that reflects the world, because no one can relate to a story about a girl from Kansas who didn't appreciate what she had and was sent to another world that wasn't hers, and finally realized at the end what she had and have started to appreciate it, because no one can reflect that. No one could understand that. No one could relate to that. Let's get into it though. When it was announced that Blackish creator Kenya Barris was creating yet another reboot of the classic film Wizard of Oz, audiences were puzzled to say the least, of course, because this movie is a masterpiece. It's a classic. It has stood the test of time for 80 years, and it will forever be a classic and will always be a movie talked about forever. After all, the original 1939 cinematic adaptation of L. Frank Baum's Wizard of Oz is not only a Hollywood classic, but still holds up to this day, which is 100% correct. So much so that despite numerous adaptations of the story have been done in the last roughly 80 years since its premiere, none of them have come close to having as much of a lasting impact as the MGM film. It's a classic. That's what classics do. However, this reality hasn't stopped Barris from seeking to update the cinematic classic for modern audiences, mainly weirdos on the internet who aren't going to watch this, who don't have any money or are pissy broke and don't support anything. Specifically those of the alphabet community. Last week, Barris will be writing and directing a new project through his Caslabo Inc. Society production studio told Variety that his take on Dorothy's journey will give a whole new meaning to the phrase, somewhere over the rainbow. No, it won't. Stop lying. Stop gaslighting. You're full of shit. Stop. Barris told the outlet that his version title is simply Wizard of Oz. There's only one wizard, so that doesn't make any sense. Will feature representation from both alphabet community and other communities in an effort to tell a story that tackles modern day issues. We don't need it. I hope it flops. I hope it fails. I hope it crashes and burns, and I don't care. I don't think anyone should care. They should just go watch the original film. It's worth a watch. I've seen it multiple times. I've enjoyed it and learned what the movie is supposed to teach people, which is mainly don't judge a book by its cover, by the way. The original was an allegory and a reflection of the way the world was at the time, things like the Great Depression and Dust Bowl, said the director. Now we're going to turn a mirror on where we are at now and take disparate characters from the community, the alphabet community, from different cultural communities and socioeconomic, and tell a story that reflects the world. Again, we don't need that. We have the original. You don't need to make something new then. Don't take the Wizard of Oz, because that's not what the Wizard of Oz is. I think this is the best time to do it. No, it's never a best time to do it. It's never a good time to do it. It's never going to be a good time to do it. Stop. Stop it. I'm nervous, he added. Well, yeah, because you're going to piss off people who have been fans of this movie for as long as it's been around. That's why you should be nervous, because you're an idiot. You're trying to remake this film that's such a classic. You are an absolute moron for thinking you're going to take this film and remake it for garbage audiences, for modern audiences who aren't even going to support this trash. Hopefully my movie can last as long as the original. It's not. It never will. And I hope it doesn't come out. I hope it doesn't come out, because it is an abomination of what you are doing. And even if it does, it will not stand the test of time. No one will give a shit about this movie after a month after it comes out. People will just go watch the original and piss all over your dog shit of an adaptation. Over the last few years, Hollywood has made a strong push for alphabet community in film and television, because they want the industry to crash and burn. Because apparently no one can relate to anything unless they see themselves in film and television. According to GLAAD's 2022 Annual Studio Responsibility Index, an annual report which grades the efforts of the top 8 major Hollywood studios, increasing the amount of alphabet community in their productions, the industry set a record in 2021 with 12% of all characters appearing across broadcast, cable, and streaming television being depicted as a member of the community. And most of the time, all it is agenda pushing garbage, and all they push is the person's identity, and they always flop. They literally always flop. This was a roughly 2.2 increase since 2018, when the organization publicly chastised networks and platforms must continue to prioritize these stories that have been overlooked with a specific focus on all these different things. No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. No one with a disability wants to see another person with a disability. They don't want to be shown again that they have to deal with something by looking at it again. Okay, that's not how the world works. That's really not how the world works. That year, in response to what the organization felt was a decline in representation. Good, I don't care. I don't care. Compared to previous years, GLAAD President and CEO Sarah K. Ellis also called for the major studios to include alphabet community characters in 50% of the films by 2024. Yes, because you want the industry to just crash and burn, where a new independent industry will rise up from the ashes of this destroyed industry that you helped destroy. Following the early March passing of Florida's Parental Rights and Education Bill, which bans teaching sexuality and transgenderism to children between kindergarten through third grade, which is completely reasonable, and if you're against it, honestly, you're a piece of shit. Ellis made it clear that Hollywood needs to be on the front lines and fight for the representation of the alphabet community. No, they don't. If you want to make your bullshit film, stop taking properties that have already been established and using them for your bullshit agenda. Go make your trash films. Go make your bullshit films. Stop taking originally established things and swapping them around and thinking that you're making something new. You're not. You're bastardizing something that was originally made. That's what you're doing. You're bastardizing someone's superior and better work than what garbage you would ever put out. We will call on Hollywood to take meaningful action, and will soon convene the biggest brand agencies, studios, and streamers together with two goals. One, to commit to improving the quantity, quality, and diversity of alphabet images, especially in kids and family programming, because you're all groomers. Because you're all groomers. You're a groomer, and you're going to recruit other groomers to do groomer shit. And I don't give a fuck who gets offended about me getting called a groomer. If you get offended by me calling you a groomer, you're probably a groomer. Especially if you're trying to put this trash in my kids or anybody's kids programming. For that, I'll just let my kid go watch Power Rangers like I did when I was 3 fucking years old, watching Power Rangers and watching Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, not the current versions of those things. Power Rangers really hasn't changed that much, but so they can continue watching that. Not the trash reboot that y'all tried to do, which was dog shit, and not the current Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. All the old shit that I used to watch as a kid. It's much better and higher in quality and higher in superiority of product when I was a kid. Said Ellis in June at this year's GLAAD Media Awards in June. Yeah, because you're probably a groomer. You're probably a groomer like all the other people in Hollywood pushing this dog shit. And 2, to speak out against anti-alphabet legislation in favor of rights like the equality. I'm sorry that we don't want your bullshit being taught to children. Because we don't want that bullshit being taught to children, because it's not the norm. And even the people in that community know it's not the norm. And I don't care if you're gay or trans or whatever you want to be. Just don't force me to accept your feelings of the day or your feelings of tomorrow. I don't care. Live your life. You do you. I don't care. As long as you don't force me to believe in your bullshit, or for like the trans stuff. Gay, okay, you can be that. Go ahead. If that's what you are, if that's what you know you are, go ahead. Live your best life. As of this writing, there are no details regarding the cast or the synopsis. We all know it's probably going to be some race swap bullshit where Dorothy will be black, the tiger will probably be trans, the scarecrow will be trans, the Tin Man will be non-binary or some bullshit like that. You know exactly how this Hollywood trash is gonna go. They're gonna completely bastardize what made this movie amazing, what made this movie a masterpiece, and what made this movie stand the test of time, and will continue to stand the test of time. Because that's how Hollywood works. That's how they work. But those are my thoughts on this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you, all the new subscribers. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate any comments you guys have about this. Subscribe for more content. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.